Now, since retiring from basketball, that was in 2019, he is busier than ever as an entrepreneur, a philanthropist, and the best thing of all, he says, a father. Now Wade is out with a new photographic memoir. It's called simply Dwyane. Features more than 200 behind-the-scenes images by photographer Bob Metellus of Wade's life on and off the court. We talked to Dwyane Wade about the challenges he overcame on his journey to the NBA and the lessons he has learned from being a dad. Number one, I have to give a shout out to you and Bob. I've never seen a book like this before. The pictures, when they say a picture is worth 1,000,000 words, 1,000 words, this is what this book does.
Yeah.
I'm so moved by the pictures. I'm so moved by the story. And I want to start with you as a little boy growing up, because you were told that you can't make it. Your chances of making it are 1 in 1,000,000. You're not that good. But you said you never second guessed yourself.
A third,
Yes.
fourth, fifth. Yeah.
But you believed, Dwyane. You believed when people were telling you don't have what it takes.
I believed. In the midst of believing, I needed people in my life to tell me that, no, you can keep going.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because it does get hard, mm-hmm. especially when you're trying to accomplish something that nobody around you have accomplished. Mm-hmm. That's the hardest thing, because I couldn't look at someone in my family and say, that's what I want to do, or someone in my community and say, that's who I want to be. So I had to go out and find, someone else, and it was Michael Jordan, it was Chicago Bulls, it was sports, is where I found my inspiration and motivation.
But I thought it was interesting that you write in the book that you strove for perfection,
yeah.
which I think is a great goal, knowing that you probably could never reach perfection, but yet you were striving for it anyway. Why?
I feel like if you shoot for the moon, like I said in the book, I feel like you'll come down with a few stars. Mm-hmm. You know, if I, as a basketball player, if I try to shoot to be a Michael Jordan, if I fall short of that, I'll still be one of the 75 greatest players, mm-hmm. right? I may not be the greatest. So for me, I just always believed in go for it. I had no other choice, Gayle. So,
yeah.
I mean, it wasn't like I had options, neither.
Uh-huh.
You know?
You didn't feel you had options?
No.
No? Why?
It was not presented, and I couldn't see it, Only thing I could see is what's on TV, and that never felt attainable. It never felt real. What you see is what you see out your front window, and when you're sitting on that porch, that's what seems attainable. Mm-hmm. And it's the struggle, it's the gains, it's the drugs, it's the lifestyle that my mom got caught in, that my family got caught in. That's what I seen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you talk about your mom, you talk about your dad. You said they had demons. You said, but you never judged them, and you never gave up on either of them.
No, I don't believe in that. Do I feel that their route and their road that they took probably made my road a little tougher? Mm-hmm. Yes, but that also built me tough at the same time. And so I understand, especially as an adult, like trying to go through this world, navigating through this world without answers, without the questions, to the test, it's very hard. Yeah. And so sometimes you're going to take a step and it's going to be the wrong direction. And it may take you a long time to get back from that step, to get back on the path that was chosen for you. And that's what happened with my mom. It took a long time. But with the family's love, with God's will, with her own inner strengths and everything she went through, she eventually got back on this path.
Yeah, she came back.
Yeah.
She came back in a big way.
Yeah, she came back. But she was gone for a long time. He was down in that step for a long time.
Yeah. But you talk about your dad. You credit your dad. You credit coaches, too, for making you the man you are and the player you are. Your dad, you said, used to make you play with older players. Mm-hmm. And that also had a big role in how you played the game that you played, that he was tough on you. You didn't appreciate it then, but you do now.
Yeah, I do. My father and so many other parents in the inner city, when you have kids, immediately those kids are looked at as, opportunities to change the way that you're living. And so my dad had to do what he had to do. He's like, hey, basketball is our way out. Mm-hmm. And so he pushed the ball in our hand. He made us play the game of basketball. And I fought it for a long time because of that. Mm-hmm. Eventually, I fell in love with it. It became, part of me. But you take my life as a father, I don't have to push things on my kids.
Yeah.
I don't need help with the bills. So I can wait and I can allow them to grow.
You write a lot about the players that mean a lot to you. You talk about, but the three of you, LeBron James and Chris Bosh, and the three of you will be forever tied. You write a lot about that chapter in your life.
Yeah. Those are my brothers. You understand that that changed the way the game is viewed. That changed the way that players are viewed from a player empowerment standpoint. When all three of us made that decision as young black men to say, you know what, we're going to take our destiny in our future in our own hands. But at the same time, it was so much that went in that from like when I was going through my custody battle, like I would go to LeBron. You know, like you've seen me cry before. You know, and they would pick me up when I needed to go play a game. Like these became my brothers. You know, these became people who helped me navigate this life at the same time as winning championships and all that. But it's bigger. It was way bigger than that.
And let's talk about your children, because clearly, as big as basketball is and as great as you are in basketball, you said that means nothing to you compared to what you really believe is your true calling and the most important thing to you. Being a father.
Yeah.
Not just being a father, being a very good father.
Yes. It's the joy for me. Like, I've accomplished a lot of amazing things, but I don't feel the joy that I feel when my kids accomplish something as simple as bringing home a test and being happy that they got an A on a Spanish test. The joy in me to see the joy in them is priceless, and it's something that I knew my whole life. I mean, just looking at Zaire when he was born, when I was 20 years old, I knew I would do anything for that kid. You know, he changed my perspective on the world. And so for me, winning championships, accomplishing amazing things, that's great.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I worked hard for that. But the joy that I get from being a parent and seeing my kids, you know, stand tall, to see them feel supported and see them feel love, I mean, that right there is
They
priceless.
feel that. Let's talk about Zaya. She came out as transgender, I think, a little over a year ago. I mean, and I think that just was eye-opening for many people to see how the two of you would handle it and how the difference that she's made in your life. You said she has been your greatest teacher. How so?
She was my greatest teacher before I knew, before she came home and said that she was transgender. And it was just the way that I was raised. I was raised like, man up. And once I got around Zaya, I couldn't. Something inside of me, I couldn't even like punish her, right? And so she started teaching me that it's not one way, Dad. Like, I'm not Zaire, Dad.
Yes.
You actually have to parent me. You actually have to get to know and learn.
Was that hard for you, Dwyane? Was it hard to make the adjustment?
It wasn't hard to, because I love her.
Yeah.
Right? And when you see you're saying something and it's not landing. As a parent, you walk out of the room like, that didn't go well. And so, you know, my wife was very important. Her care with Zaya, her hand on Zaya was way different than mine.
Yeah.
And so I learned how to be, you know, a little bit softer. I learned how to not come in with so much aggression and over talking. I learned how to sit back and actually listen.
Yeah, he says he learned a lot from Gabrielle Union. But I thought growing up, guys, was so interesting because he never thought he'd be a basketball player. He used to watch Doogie Howser and thought, I could do that. I could be a Doogie Howser. And when times got tough, he believes, he said he didn't second-guess himself, as he said, but tough times can never outrun tough people. I like that. Don't you like that?
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Tough times can never outrun tough people. He knew it was tough. And he said he would do whatever it takes to be a success, whatever that was going to be.
Of course, and I like when he said, what I saw was real.
Yes.
What I saw when I sat on the porch, that was real to me.
Realer than
and
TV.
Oftentimes, kids in the inner city, that's all they know. It's because that's what they're surrounded by.
Yeah. As a Miami guy, we should say a word about those pictures of him, LeBron James and Chris Bosh. It may be
It made
triggering for
people
some
mad,
people.
yes.
Some people may not be happy with those pictures.
Big three.
Yeah, the big three.
The big three. So
Great
they felt
shots.
like rock stars. They were certainly that. We'll have more of our conversation with Dwyane Wade ahead, including his marriage with actress Gabrielle Union, why it stays so strong, and what he misses most since retiring from basketball. But first, at 8:39, time to check your local weather.
We gon' take it to the moon, take it to the stars. How many people you know can take it this far? I'm supercharged, about to take this whole thing to Mars. Now we gon' take it to the moon, take it to the stars. You don't know what we could do to make it this far.
You know, you and Gabrielle Union, when you talk about your wife, are certainly, for a lot of people, squad goals, couples goals. I would argue, I would say that it's probably one of the best decisions that you've made in your life, marrying her and she marrying you.
Yeah.
Why do you think this marriage works so well? She has talked about it. Why do you think it works so well?
It's a great question.
Before you answer that, do you like my dress? And be careful, it's Gabrielle Union.
I love it. I think it's...
Yeah, be careful, it's Gabrielle Union.
The color.
Do you love the dress?
I love it. I love it. The material.
I know.
The cuts
and
is great.
It's very well priced. Yes.
All of it.
She knows about fashion, too.
Yes.
So why do you think that it works so well?
Well, I think first and foremost, it's just to say it's an everyday journey for us. Like, we all know it's hard in relationships.
Yeah.
But
I think it's good you're saying that, too.
no, it's hard,
because
people. Listen,
Yeah.
social media and highlights and all these videos, it makes it seem like it's bliss, and it's not.
Well, your life looks pretty good on social media.
Yeah, it's
It
highlights.
does.
It's highlights.
But I love that you're saying it's hard and it's
hard.
work.
It's hard, it's work, but ultimately, that's my best friend, and that's my partner. What we feel kind of holds in the test of times is friendship, is growing and evolving together. You know, she brings me up, pulls me up when I'm not ready to grow, and I do the same for her. And so we kind of grow at the same time, and it's not, you know, we're not leaving each other behind.
Yeah. Do you miss the game of basketball? Do you miss playing?
No,
You don't?
no, I don't.
I don't believe you.
I wrote a poem in my book called Game Over.
I know, I saw it.
I gave everything to the game.
But you know what, Dwyane,
and more.
I actually do believe you because your life is so full. You're doing so many other things.
Yeah.
And that, you know, Magic Johnson said the same thing. Irvin said the same thing. I don't miss it because my life is so full now. I
Yes.
missed it in the beginning, but I don't miss it now.
You know what I do miss about it? If
What?
there's anything I miss standing in the middle of the floor with the ball, 7 seconds on the clock, game tied, down 1, looking at the crowd, there's 20,000 people biting their nails,
Yeah.
standing up. Like, I miss the performing. And I miss making a shot and seeing 20,000 people stand up, and I know they're gonna go home and their dinner gonna be better, their relationship gonna be better. Like, I understand like what
Yeah,
sports
you
do.
miss that, yes.
I miss that, but I don't miss a lot of things.
The Dwyane Wade. But in the book, you write this as you wrap it up. You said you left this game with no regrets for a game that you've loved since you were 9. No regrets.
No regrets. This is a game that I fought very hard to play. My mom went to jail when I was 9. My dad was in and out of jail growing up. I did not pass my ACT test to go to college. I had a baby in college. Like, all these things that will stop you from reaching your goals. And I kept fighting because that was my dream. And I'm a visual person, right? I'm all about vision, and I've always visualized myself on that floor. Always visualized myself buying my mama this beautiful home.
And you did.
And so I wasn't gonna let nothing stop me.
Yeah. What's your dream now?
My kids, to have opportunities in life, this opportunity for them to understand, what it is and what it's like to, as an adult, and the responsibilities we do have as Black people in this world, and give them opportunities to go off and be and do whatever they want. Like, no one should be able to hold you back from that.
And I want to go back to Gabrielle Union for a second, because there's a great picture in the book where she is standing up. It's you and
Laker game.
Yes. I love this picture. I love this picture. What do you love about this picture? Because I look at that and that says, look at her expression. That says ride and die.
Yeah.
Ride or die. What does that say to you?
I mean, that's my wife. Like, I remember the moment. It was towards the end of the game.
Did you see her in the stands doing that?
Yeah.
You did.
I paid for those seats. I know exactly. Them seats in the Staples Center, I can say the
No, but
Staples Center before
I don't know
it
in
changed.
the middle of the game if you see her.
I hear her.
Oh, you hear her, okay.
And so the moment was, I think it was like the last 2 minutes of the game, and I was like, hey, me and Brian was just guarding each other. It was the last time we would play each other. And so at this moment, you see everybody in the crowd start standing up because they know the moment, and my wife was like, get his... the rest. And so that's a great moment.
You like that, right?
I love that.
I love it too. I love it too. I mean, it made me smile when I look at it. Shout out to Bob again for capturing the moments in that book. Cheering you on, Dwyane Wade, always. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me on.
Thank you. Yeah, Bob Metellus, again, the photographer. This is what I love this book. It's the pictures, those candid moments. He said that Bob, of course, clearly a friend because he had unlimited access, that he started taking pictures of the family in 2008. And Dwyane said he just wanted to have a catalog. He just wanted to have an archive. To document what he was doing. Then 2019, he thought, these are so good, maybe there's something we can do with it. And this is how the book was born. But one of my favorite things is they have a little daughter, Kavya, he and Gabrielle Union. She's a pistol. She has her own little book called Shady Baby. Look at her expression, Shady Baby. And he said, she was one of the reasons why he decided to leave the game. He said, she's the perfect exit interview for me.
Oh, that's awesome.
Isn't that a nice way to put it? that I wanted to spend time. Money and celebrity comes with perks, but respect doesn't come with a price tag.
Yeah.
Isn't that good?
Well done, Gayle. Great job.
I thought he
I
was
love
well
when he
done.
talked about marriage.
Yes.
Those are just the highlights. It's just like in sports. You watch your sports shows, you have highlights, you don't see the
Yes.
bumps and bruises, you don't see the plays that go wrong. Same thing with marriage and relationships. Don't be fooled by everybody else's highlights.
Exactly.
Hey, do you believe him? Does he miss basketball? Or he
I
does
believe
not?
him.
You believe him?
When you're busy like he is, you don't miss it at all.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.